Okay, this is episode 16 of the vlog. I believe it's episode 16. This is Saturday. Kind of rainy outside. Still warm outside though. It's a nice day. Just want to try to do something a little bit different. I have been, for a long time now, I've been getting a lot of emails, DMs, phone calls, all kind of requests to, I guess, give talks and answer questions, be involved with case studies, and I can't always get to every request. But what I'm going to try to do is record this content, let it live on our YouTube. I'll try to put links to the answers, or at least basically question, and then I'll, through audio, I'll answer the question. And then when I get more support, then maybe I can even do full transcription of the entire episode. But this is something new. I'm going to give this a shot. And I got an email about a social entrepreneurship project. This one comes out of Dubai, and there's a school out there that's is basically going through this stuff. So I'll just go ahead and go into this. I'll protect the name, but I will just kind of read the information here. Doing a project about using plastics and recycled materials to produce products such as bags. I would like to interview you because I need to improve and adapt my social entrepreneur idea, which is also about creating products from recycled materials so that it is efficient and would work as planned. Some questions I might ask include topics such as efficiency of gathering materials, location of action, and impacts on local communities. If this is something you are able to help me with, let me know. Okay, so back and forth, and then now we have some questions here, so just going to jump right into it. So what inspired you to start your business using recycled materials? Well, for me, I came from retail. I've been fascinated with retail ever since I played sports. I think it started in the shoe category for me because it was always interesting, the different materials and the textiles. And I think from there I kind of graduated and moved into cut and sew and just appreciation for uniquely designed items. So I worked in some stores that were importing a lot of let's say different brands and designers to my hometown. And I basically wanted to create, and I wanted to contribute to a culture that I had kind of so long been a consumer of. Excuse me. So it started on the consumer side, and then I felt like I wanted to be on the contributing side of that equation. Fast forward, I used different materials, natural materials, recycled materials. Found that with recycled materials, to me it's just a real interesting way to create. It's an interesting way to use a medium, which I think for I guess as it relates to me, I've always been interested in brand, but a lot of the brands really had that I guess a lot of the houses that have either inspired me or that I was a customer of, they started with something really basic like trunks or luggage or bags. And the modern kind of way of doing that, in my mind is kind of going in an opposite direction. And that was a lot of that to me was learning that during that time it was kind of unheard of to travel with a lot of trunks or a lot of bags and things of that nature. So today I think the version of that is materials, recycling. If you think about in our industry, there is a lot of waste, there is a lot of pollution. There are a majority of the products, I'd say, they're not necessarily made out of recycled materials. It's a very small amount. And for me, it's about kind of where is the world going, not necessarily where is it now. And I kind of like that concept of being a little bit ahead of the curve. And we're already in a business where we have to plan so far ahead, and we have to think seasons and years ahead. So that kind of getting to roundabout, that's how I started using recycled materials, because it allowed us as a brand to be able to express ourselves in a way that is unique, and we think it's cool. So What was your mission? What was your main mission to accomplish while setting up your company? Well, my main mission setting up my company was to solve a personal problem first. I personally wanted cool accessories, and I felt like I wanted to contribute. As I mentioned before, I wanted to contribute, to a space that I had, for a while, had been a consumer of, and seen several different trends, several different designers, several different brands, create or make their own mark. So, as far as let me think about the question again. So, mission to accomplish while setting up company. So it started there. Found out there were others that were kind of having the same problems that I was having. Looking for something that was cool, something that was unique. And so then I started helping them with, just limited edition pieces, or, some, small runs, small orders. And I think that, that process kind of showed me that, through research and through sourcing, there's bigger problems out here. I found that, recycling water bottles was, definitely a big initiative based on how much plastic had been created in just the past 10 years compared to the past 100 years. And I jumped around a little. I'm jumping a little bit around, but I worked in finance for a while, so I did, from an analysis standpoint, I analyzed a lot of, just a lot of trends, and even just personally, just you can go into Google Trends and just search certain keywords, and you just see the graph just keeps going up to the right. So I found, things like water bottles, landfill waste, and at the same time, income opportunities are needed. So, it's a lot of different things, I guess, when it comes to mission. But I think, at the core, what we are is we're a retail company, we're a brand. So, it starts with product. We want a beautiful product, we want a quality product, and then, we want a product that will support social impact. What do you hope you and your company's actions will inspire in others? I hope that our company will inspire other companies, or individuals, to basically be yourself. If you're working on a company and you want to, you're in the beauty industry, or maybe you're in the education business. I mean, whatever you're doing, you do it and you have fun, and something that is fulfilling to you. I think I worked in a few industries, mainly retail. Spent some time in finance. Spent time working with operators and entrepreneurs, and people that had started companies. And for myself, I identified with that side of the table. And for me, that's how I guess I got inspired, was just by doing things, trying things. So hopefully we'll inspire someone or a company to try something new, try something different. What were some of the main challenges you faced while making your company? The challenges that we faced and face, a lot of them. Everything is a challenge. I don't even know where to begin. That's a big answer. I guess I'll say that business is it's hard. It's hard to make a product. It's hard to ship a product. It's hard to sell a product. It's hard to recycle. All these things are hard. Do people care about design? Do people care about recycling? And these are questions that you have to answer, and those are challenges. At the same time, that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it interesting. That's what wakes me up every morning. Keeps me up late at night. It's just it's a fun game. So I wouldn't change anything about the challenges. What was the most efficient location to gather recycled waste for your products? Well, location-wise, we've recycled from all different parts of the world. The U.S., far east, or Haiti, all over. So I would say, as far as efficiency, it depends on, I guess, what your definition of efficiency would be. For, I guess, our purposes, we want to have the maximum impact, the biggest problem that we can solve. So, what we've tried to do is find places where we could definitely kind of have the biggest potential upside. That's why we were able to partner with organizations like Thread International, and kind of help support income opportunities in places where it was very it's needed. But also, excuse me, locally in our local city here, where we can step in and help a business recycle or repurpose, materials. That's also efficient for us. Or maybe it's a company outside of our city here that will send materials to our offices here. That happens too. That's efficient for us, because literally it's just a knock on the door out there. Someone will come in with materials, and the carriers will drop it off, and then from there we send it to our factory to have it cut and sewn, and then it gets turned into a product. So it all works. There's no one way, I guess, to do it. Okay, what are some challenges in gathering and utilizing recycled materials as opposed to regularly manufactured materials? That's a really good question. I'd say with the number one thing for utilizing recycled materials for us has been the nuance of using recycled materials versus regularly manufactured materials, because if you think about it, the process for production, which is actually cutting, sewing, and kind of creating whatever it is that you make, or the accessories that we make, that piece of it becomes more there's more research involved, there's more trials involved, because it's in a lot of cases it's never been done. Like when I come to a factory, or I go somewhere with the materials we're using, this is something that they normally have never used needles for, or they haven't bonded different materials together like this before. So that is that's one challenge. And I think the gathering part is just I think it's just the physical part of the gathering. I would say I have a storage that's filled with materials right now, so that's another episode. We might need to go down there and kind of check on that and show you what that looks like. But that in itself is that's a full day's work sometimes, or half a day's work. The conditions, if you can think about the conditions, that's a challenge. This last week, I think it's rained 4 or 5 days in a row. Everything's wet. There's bugs. There's all kinds of stuff. And there's frogs in this. There's all kinds of stuff. You never know what you're going to get. Spiders. So those are some challenges. Let's throw those out there. Who are your target customers with your products? That's. We want to sell to people that carry bags. If you carry bags, and even if you don't carry bags, you're a target. Some of our customers are, they're used to carrying, I don't know. They're used to carrying, we'll say, the status quo, but what we're trying to do is get them to, at least try something different, try what we have, see if they like it. Number one thing people need to overcome when they, start carrying our bags, these bags back here, they have to figure out that it's not a lack of quality. That's the number one thing. Because when you think of recycled, I know for myself, you thought DIY, craft, not necessarily commerce, or let alone luxury. So, I'd say, as far as that goes, that's a target. So, I'd say anyone that has an open mind. Okay, last question is, how do you hope your company will make a difference on global plastic and recycled material waste? I hope that we can inspire. I hope that we can physically make a difference. I hope that we start out as a brand that makes products, and those products are consuming the materials that would have otherwise been ended up in a landfill, or created an income opportunity for someone who was in need of that income opportunity. We have big aspirations for the company. So everything can be checked out at hamiltonperkins.com to see what it is that we're talking about. You can subscribe to this YouTube channel. The handle is at Hamilton Perkins. I think we're probably most active on Instagram stories at this point. Between Instagram stories and Snapchat, Hamilton Perkins on both. We're trying to deliver anywhere from 7 to 15 to 30 stories a day, just showing the process, showing the recycling, showing the repurposing, showing the customer journey, showing the brand journey. So I'm thankful for your time. I'm thankful for your questions, and hope all is well. Later.